in here already. Like, there's not enough smoke. Usually at this point,
I know, it's going to be a hot box.
I'm waiting for you to roll the joint. I mean, come on.
Gentleman.
I'm just going to say, this is a woman's power episode.
So roll!
And I'm the bottom bitch rolling the joints already.
And he's fucking slow.
Oliver's barking because now she's outside.
Excellent. So, folks, welcome to the HotBox podcast. Tonight we are the wonderful woman of weed special. I'm joined by Penny, Robin, Joe, and Myrtle. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was actually a little bit afraid. I was trying to bail out of the episode at the beginning. Not because I'm intimidated, because I'm attracted to like intelligent women, and I feel like tonight, lots of intelligent, beautiful ladies around the table, confident. So if you get to speak your mind, eh?
Yeah. No, I'm quickly just making a few notes about all of the stoner chicks that could come into my mind here in South Africa right now. So I won't waste any time. I'd like to just give a huge shout out to all of our sisters out there in South Africa and the world, and particular mention to Mary Lou in Neisner for all the amazing stuff she does with cannabis art, and a lot of the dressing on the set is from her. Camilla Coogan, who has just published a magnificent thesis about hemp. She's down in the Western Cape. Sarah Jane in KZN, Alyssa in Cape Town, Sharon in Cape Town, Sonia McManus from the SA Stoner Sessions, who keeps things really alive on Facebook. Fiona Morris in the Free State out there, alone on her farm. She's doing amazing work. Tertia Engelbrecht with her jewelry, and I could go on and on. Tina, Nikki, Alicia, we love you all, and you're all here in the room in spirit with us today.
Yeah. Wonderful.
That's it.
Wonderful.
Go power.
I think Myrtle nailed it there as well. If you have anybody you guys at home, if there's anyone who comes to mind, because we know weed culture, it's like a 15 to 35 male demographic. Go look at your Facebook analytics, go look at your anything. 15 to 35 males.
Are you serious?
That's the demographic.
Really?
Very much so.
But where are the women?
Exactly. But maybe that's the thing, is that
Out there making the world
Come
not fall
on,
apart.
warrior woman, fucking stand up!
But where are the women? Because I think the women are there, but if we look at media and that, stoner culture is still saturated by men. You know, it's male rappers, it's male actors, it's still the Cheech and Chong thing. Where's Tina and...
I think there's a serious gender bias in the cannabis industry, but there are trailblazing women all around the world who are getting rid of that stereotype. You know, when you go to these big cannabis expos, you have all of these chicks, you know, promoting the seeds and that. And I reckon that they should also have men with no shirts on, also promoting the stuff and the grow equipment and the drying machine or whatever. You know? I think it is changing around the world, and seeing as they're getting rid of those chicks that hold up at the boxing matches like this. They're going to get rid of those because of the gender stereotyping. I think that we're going to see less and less of stoner chicks having that stereotype.
I think also on movies, because I was just thinking, I think some of the more recent, younger, like teen movies, there are stoner chicks in them, but also they're portrayed as, you know how you've got all the different types of stoner guys, you've got the intelligent stoner guy, you've got but the chicks, they're not really portrayed as very...
diverse.
Yeah, or intelligent.
Or intelligent, or dynamic,
There's been a few series on DSTV, and I can't think of I can't think of the series names. 2-3 occasions where women are light up joints. The one was a doctor.
No.
I don't know if it was Grey's Anatomy.
I've
been blown away
beautiful
how
woman
open
who's out.
it is. Every single series lately, it's very open. Yes, and in Grey's Anatomy, somebody made cookies. That was it, the one. And it went through everybody. And the one guy was operating and he started laughing. And they suddenly realised what was wrong. But everybody had these cookies. They're bringing it in everywhere.
That's Doctors for Life.
That is Grey's Anatomy.
But that's what Doctors for Life say. They say if we, or like the real opponents of weed, they say if you legalize it, we're going to have doctors and pilots and coaches and
they're all going to be getting stoned.
Well, I think that also answers your question that you were saying, where are all the women? You know, the women are raising the kids and juggling their lives. And if a mother is accused of being a stoner, she might have problems with her kids and the school and the maintenance and the ex-husband and all of that. Women have got loads more reasons not to come out of the closet.
It's still
when it
maybe a
comes
bit more taboo.
That was
for-
my thing.
Or like a female
Very
teacher versus a male teacher. If a male teacher, he's just like reliving his youth or something. If it's a
Yes.
female teacher, it's maybe, you know, wow,
Yeah.
you're looking after our kids. And
Or you're
what
being a
kind of-
loose woman.
you expect, maybe more is expected of you. I don't know.
Do you know what's a
My
funny- No, go for it.
My son was 12 when he came to me, and he said to me, Daddy said you smoke dacha, and he's going to go and tell the police, and they're going to take us away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 1996.
Well, I think that
Yeah.
that all of the cannabis prison widows really deserve a mention as well. We're going to get into that with our guest
Should we
later.
say our
Because
special
of
guest?
malicious men.
Are we going to keep it a secret who our
I don't
special
know, I
guest
think
is?
we
We've got
maybe
two
we-
special guests.
We've got 2 special guests, twice as nice.
Maybe
eh?
if we gave us like 5 comments, 5 people asking us to tell.
So, okay, we must tease them a
Okay.
bit. Eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Then
Yeah.
we'll reveal one then.
And
Or
which-
maybe we'll reveal a hint and you guys can guess.
But what are you
It's
going to
like
call
strip.
them? How are they going to choose?
Who?
You say you've got 2 surprises, so they must choose.
No, they
No,
mustn't choose. They
no.
must spur us on.
They
Oh,
must
so
if
what
enough
they
of
want.
them if enough
Oh.
of them vote for
Yeah.
us to tell them something, we'll maybe
Okay.
give them
Well,
a
I
hint.
think honestly we're there already.
Excuse me, but where's that joint?
It's
This
right
is
there.
women's... Okay.
Okay.
It's like perfect timing. Like magic.
I'm gonna get a backhand for not knowing my role. It's like on cue.
Mr. Presenter, so you did introduce everybody,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
I'm so glad I'm
Should
not
we say hi to
alone.
anyone on the comments there?
Okay, so-
in the comments for us today. Anyone who said a comment, just hi.
Bradley Moraes says, how's it, Bradley?
Hey,
Whoa.
Bradley.
Where's your chick? Bring her.
And no one else, only Brad.
So far.
Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Well, I can't...
So-
I'm busy dragging else my mouth
Cool.
will
So
be going.
our first guest is on any minute now, but before we get there, something that's very interesting for me is if we think about it deep down inside, most of the weed we smoke in SA, I think, is grown by women. Because we're still very much in a traditional role in the rural situations and disadvantaged situations where the men go off to mine or to work and the women traditionally stay at home and raise the kids and raise the chickens and raise the ganja.
Yeah.
I think so. You know, when we've been down in the rural areas, it's mainly older women. It's the gogos who will tend the field, and some older men, as you say, because the youngsters and the younger women have now also left the rural areas. And then you have in lots of traditions in South Africa, particularly in the Eastern Cape with the Xhosa women, it's the old women who smoke the ganja. And then you have all the traditional healers who we've got 350,000 traditional healers in South Africa. And I would say that the majority, I don't have the exact figure, but the majority of those traditional healers are women. And they would grow, they would have in their medicinal garden, they would have their cannabis, their dacha, and use it in the medicine. So yes, it is traditionally very much a woman's role to... I mean, I love growing cannabis. One came up, I was living in the mountains on a farm, and a plant came up outside my front door. Imagine that. And somebody said to me, wow, that looks like a nice plant. I said, oh, okay. So I nurtured it a bit and sang to it a bit and whatever. And then I was taught how to dry it and cure it and everything, and I was hooked.
And how old were you, like 7?
Joined the long tradition. It was actually, I'd probably been smoking for about 10, 12 years before I actually grew my first plant. So I was really ignorant of the intricacies of dacha before I had that first plant, and then the next year it was like 4 or 5 plants, and yeah, I love growing cannabis.
I must actually say, I think amongst my friends growing up, now that I'm thinking about it, my female friends need to step up. Like, I can't think of that many that grew versus, I mean, all the guys were growing. That was, you know.
Yeah. It's true.
Can we get onto our guest,
My
guys?
daughter grew a very nice plant in her back garden.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's get on to our first guest, guys.
She was 17.
I think for all you at home, you might know her as Zol Barbie. But it's going to be great to speak to her for the first time, because I never know if I pronounce this right. Is this Alicia or Alyssa? I never get it right. Or should it just be Zol Barbie?
Zol Barbie. Said in that accent.
Where is
Have we-
she?
She's in the top corner of
I
the
think
screen.
the guys are getting.
Can you hear us,
Can
Zol
you hear
Barbie?
us?
No, gone.
I can hear you now.
Great, thanks Alicia. We can hear you great now. I think we're on the road, eh?
Ooh, shout out to the tech team.
Yay!
So Alicia, thank you. Welcome to the HotBox.
I'm so excited to be on your show. I'm such huge fans of what you do, and I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck you want to talk to me about. I'm really happy to be here.
Alicia, we're very grateful to have you. A big part of the show is we're a celebration of cannabis culture. So we're trying to like just have a laugh and celebrate who we are and what we are. But could you tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're in? Because from what we've seen over the last year, you've become very active on the cannabis front as well locally.
Oh, I can't really hear you guys are breaking up. I completely lost the second half of what you were saying.
Try again.
Can you hear us now?
Ask the question again.
Are you with us, old Bobby? Bravo, bravo.
The connection.
We can hear quite clearly from this side.
She said she lost the last half.
I think she's lost the
I don't know if she can
connection.
hear us now, though.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to chat by emojis.
Yeah.
That was on yesterday. Well,
You know, I think
she
that as we're sitting here, we all of us are complete amateurs. You know, Julian and I have been the Dacha couple now for 8 years, and you never get used to being in front of the camera. And we have an Indigo girl who does all of her hooping and her singing and everything, and she's used to being on a stage and performing in front of people. But it really is a different thing when you're sitting here in the studio, and it's very personal and it's very natural and everything. But then when suddenly there's some technical issue, everybody goes quiet. So we're going to try and keep the conversation going, and we're all acting natural and
Yeah, we need that SABC thing that goes beep.
yeah.
that old school screen, you know, which you used to like, because there
Please
wasn't
be
TV
patient,
yet,
we
you
are
know,
currently
7 o'clock in the morning, then all
Cut
those
to static.
colours, yeah.
I think we should just put a live cam in Joanne and my office one day
Yeah.
and beam that over into
That's
the
what we
HotBox
need
show,
to do.
because then we never stop talking.
No,
And
especially
then we're
for the first
laughing
hour.
and smoking.
You have your own podcast, your own radio
Call it
show.
Big
First
Sister
hour is
instead of Big
just
Brother.
settling in, catching up with what happened overnight.
Zol Barbie, you with
So
us there?
busy, that's why.
Let's try again.
Cool. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear us?
It's okay.
Okay, no, it's fine. We're getting there. Step by step, we're getting there.
I can
Buzz,
hear
is
you.
this-
I can hear you.
It's always on. Excellent.
Well, then, you know, there is a big question. While we're waiting to get Zol Barbie back on the thing, do girls dab?
Yes, I
Yeah. Because I feel like this is also mostly boys'
No,
sport.
girls are
I
intimidated
don't.
by it.
I don't.
I think we're intimidated by the blowtorches and the.
Look, I like this electric nail. I find it quite civilized.
Even that, okay,
And then
but
you know that it's the right temperature and there's no fucking arguing and too hot.
I'm
too
pretty sure
cold.
when Amy was here with
too
last
technical.
time, right at the end, we were like, okay, we want to do it, but we need a boy to set it up for us.
Well, I've
Yeah.
dabbed quite a bit. I don't think it's only girls that are scared of dabs. I think when we were in Europe, you find most people in Europe are scared of dabs. It certainly is a much cleaner thing. It's a much cleaner high for, say, during the day. It's a different sort of tool. So we have just proved that girls do dabs.
But also think the one thing, I know boys have long hair too, but as a girl, it must be a nightmare dabbing sometimes. Just get your hair down, shut the fat dab, and the next thing you smell your...
The smell of burning hair.
I do normally tie my hair back, yeah.
Yeah, like a boss.
No, I need something like this. I've got,
is yummy.
but like I said, I had a blowtorch with just a glass
Yes.
pin from the hiker, courtesy of.
Pun, pun, pun.
But the blowtorch, I don't know what happened. The one day the clicker thing just stopped working. So I haven't
Yeah.
dabbed since then. But I was actually quite enjoying it, especially during the day. It's a not as a heavy high as a joint. It's like a little bit
It's lighter.
Yes.
lighter. Yeah.
You're more lifted.
Yeah, lifted, lighter, higher. Rising up.
You're not dealing with all this plant matter because when you smoke like a joint or a bong, you're smoking 80 to 90% plant matter for 10% THC. With the dab, it's more like.
It also helps, so with my vocals, if I'm doing a gig, if I'm singing, like I have to restrict myself that I don't smoke a joint probably 2 hours before I play, because it messes with everything here and you get quite stuffy. And dabbing, you actually don't get that as much.
Yeah. And also gets you, once you cough, you get out all that
I didn't want to say it that way.
How do you bring the boy thing into it? Also, a big bonus with dabbing is that it doesn't smell. So if you if you live in an apartment or whatever, but actually, what my favorite thing is this, which is a
I had it 2 years ago. Today.
a vape pen.
pen.
Yeah, I love my vape
Just
pen because
around,
it's completely
yeah.
still sits in my handbag.
It's nice and
It's got
ladylike.
a lovely smell
My
even in
whole
the
body was
car.
tingling and I just sat.
Guys, we're going to take another shot at this. Zol Barbie, you with us?
Oh my gosh, how are we going to connect to the other person if we can't connect to
We will.
You here?
So yes, I like the pens as
Why
well
don't
because it's
we
nice and ladylike and
video
it's discreet and you can walk
because
around
then it
with it
won't be
everywhere.
on.
You know, love it.
Okay, guys, we're gonna wing this a bit now because we're gonna have to like ad lib and freestyle and free verse and all that shit. But you know, honestly, I don't know where to go, so I'm just gonna skip ahead to the topic at the end. Buy us some
So
time.
why don't I do a simple
review.
product
Do us a
review?
product
Here
review.
you go.
Thanks.
Okay. So this is a punch for a really, really amazing cream made by an old friend of ours. And this is it's called a pain rub. Okay. And it has got beeswax, coconut oil. Buzz is going to show you at the...
Take away the list of ingredients.
That's all right. Sorry, man, that was a bit troll.
No, hold it. Yeah, up a bit. Okay.
Yes.
But if you put your hand behind it, it'll focus.
Yeah.
And then bring it a bit closer.
Yeah, there you
we
go.
go.
I feel like the episode's stuttering today, hey?
There's too many of us here.
So
Our
what's
energies.
interesting about this product is the ingredients.
Whoa.
And how it brings us to the fact that lots of the women who are in the cannabis industry in South Africa are making products like this. Cosmetic products, all lovely and natural and organic. So if you have anything, we are all, I know, we are like cosmetics junkies. And natural and organic, please. So if you've got nice cosmetics that you're making in your kitchen, send us a sample and we'll give you a punt. I mean, how divine does this sound? Beeswax, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, castor oil, with sage, peppermint, lavender, artemisia. That's a very, very important indigenous to South Africa herb. Moringa, also from Southern Africa, and comfrey. So
really good.
this is called Amadarling. Okay, this is made by Amadarling Meds, and you can find them at amadarlingmed@gmail.com. And it comes highly recommended.
I was going to say, can
Smells
we smell
divine. I'm going to pass it around.
I can't wait until there's weed.
It does smell
Panada.
lovely. It doesn't have that weedy smell.
Chewable.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells divine. I'm going to try
It
some.
smells lovely. It's lovely and fresh and pepperminty.
I guess for anything with the, yeah.
Oh, what does it say that? Body cream or cream? Or what?
It's a rub.
A
rub.
There you go.
Oh, so it's not like for your face.
It really smells nice.
And then
It
look-
doesn't have
I
the
wouldn't put it
weedy
on
smell.
your whole
Yeah.
face. I would put it on like if you've got a blemish or if you've got dry hands or like calluses. Like I
We should cut ourselves quickly and check everyone
It's
else.
quite hard and solid.
Yeah,
It's nice though. That's lacquer.
Doesn't
Doesn't smell like weed though.
Because
It
it
doesn't
means it's
smell
gonna
like weed,
spread
no,
further.
it's just
It means
nice
it's
and
gonna
pissy
last
and
longer.
I
salty.
love the sage. I love the smell of sage and the peppermint as well. And also
But now, okay, let's give
on
reviews.
sunburn. On
That's what-
sunburn,
yeah.
this would be really nice. I think.
Has it soaked in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys find that? I find often with
But my hands are
edibles
very
and
dry. I
like,
have calluses
weed
from playing guitar
cosmetics
and from.
that unless it has a bit of a ganja smell to it, people don't trust that it's ganja-ish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And edibles too.
Yeah.
They want to be able to taste
you
that
put
little
some
bit of
on?
green. This cream has got 1% cannabis oil in it. So it's very, very therapeutic.
And this is 100 mils, so it's like.
And you don't use a lot, eh?
No, you don't use a lot because it spreads nicely.
It smells
really nice, yeah.
I imagine in summer it might be a bit softer, although the beeswax would probably keep it. The beeswax would probably be
keeps it solid.
I wouldn't keep it on the dash in summer. Lip ice rules. Or in a hot pocket.
It's like breathing in lavender.
So sorry guys that this is sort of stuttering along today. We're filling in the gaps as best we can amongst the joints.
Is it just me or is it smoky here?
It's getting smoky.
Well, that's the point.
It's
supposed to be getting smoky.
The question is can you see it on the screen if it's like fading a bit at the top? That's usually when it tells you.
No, there's a fly.
Yeah.
That fly, I'm telling you, is
Did you bring it with?
No. It's in every episode. Every single time I've been in here.
So I'm going to give a shout out to the people who joined us.
Yeah, can we
even when I haven't been in here, I've seen.
Okay, so we've got hello Warren, hello
Hey,
Warren.
Hello.
And also hello to Sinead, Warren's lovely wife.
Hi, Sinead.
Alicia Bardenas is with us. Neil's there. Aidan Berry, hi. Strong ups there in PE. Aidan's part of our Join the Queue crew down in PE. Thomas, he's up there in Pilgrim's Rest area, I think.
I was
aren't
just
you?
there.
Yeah, and
sweet.
Brad and Neptunes. So yeah, there's a whole lot of people watching us like getting really, really goofed here, like the good stoner girls that we are.
Nice. Responsible.
More fire.
Okay, but are you going to help me with the dab now?
Okay.
Because I don't know how to work it.
So we have two different kinds of
don't
dabs.
think
Which
that
one
one
would you
does.
like? We've got this one, which is the one that I just had. I have no idea what it is, but it's lovely.
Tobacco.
Or
So
I don't want to make too much noise, but then
aha, look, it looks like we might have Zol Barbie back.
Can you hear us okay?
Take 3. Zol Bobby, you with us?
just when you holding it, try not to let
It's kind of like a spaceship sounding.
And don't all talk at once.
Okay.
Cool. Zol Bobby, could you tell a little bit about yourself? We've noticed you popping up on Instagram a lot over the last year, and we've seen you a lot at the events, which is encouraging because we've always seen a lack of female presence in weed culture. So what inspires you about cannabis? Why are you so into Mary Jane?
But I think just to what you asked me is what inspires me to be active in the cannabis activism scene. And I guess, look, I've been smoking marijuana for a good 15 years now. And I think in my younger days, I always enjoyed the thrill of it being illegal and, you know, being in that phase of your life. And then when I had a child, everything sort of changed because I finished university, I started working, I became a mother, I had different expectations for myself, and so did society, and suddenly, instead of feeling cool when I drove away from buying my weed from a dealer, I felt scared, like a criminal, and then that just didn't sit right with me, you know, and that's basically where everything kind of changed from just being someone who passively enjoys cannabis to someone who was like, no, wait, I don't want to do this. The idea of going to jail and supporting my child because of a plant just seemed so outrageous.
Great. Wonderful. I've got another question for you. This is a bit of a devil's advocate one. What are your thoughts on sexploitation within the weed industry? Because it's great, women own their own bodies. Sorry.
So basically, you know, it's difficult because I'm half naked on social media, so who the fuck am I to talk? But at the same time, I think cannabis isn't something that needs sex to sell it.
No.
The same way a Ferrari doesn't need tits and ass to sell that, but it's still nice to see the two together. So for me personally, I feel I keep things classy in a sense that if I couldn't show a photo to my mother, I wouldn't take the photo. But each to his own, I guess. I mean, there are some girls doing some really brave stuff if you look at the guys and stuff like that. But I think maybe my balls are perfect.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the cannabis reviews and product reviews you've started doing?
So that's actually a really cool question. Obviously, I've been smoking for a long time. We love to smoke different strains, mostly because we realize that when you smoke the same strain for too long, you develop quite a high tolerance to it. Or, you know, maybe it just sort of felt like that to me. So we always try to buy new things from our supplier. And being Zorbabi and networking in the scene, people often bless me with things that they've grown. And so we started smoking so many strains that we thought, shit, we'd really like to share this with people, because about 2 years ago, I remember my plug would come to my house and take out like 12 different strains, and I had no fucking idea. I was just like, oh, that's a cool name, and that sounds really dank, but I didn't know what would suit me and what wouldn't, and I suffer from crazy anxiety, like crazy anxiety, and I remember smoking so many strains that would aggravate that, and I started realizing the more on, they're all so different, there's more to it. So the reviews page is really just a place for us to share the strains we smoke with everyone else. We do not claim to be experts or connoisseurs or connoisseurs. It's literally my boyfriend and I. We like to get high every night, and we enjoy talking about what we taste and what we feel.
Yeah. Which
Well,
is
Russ Warren has just put here, when we gave a shout out to his wife, he said, yes, my wife loves ganja, and it's really good for mood swings. And I know that Warren and Sinead have 2 small children. Life's very busy for them, trying to get by in this really, really mad world. And if it's good for mood swings, then wow, then the knock-on effect of it putting you in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to women and cannabis, it's very important for the synergy that it has with our bodies, considering that we've got so much hormonal stuff to deal with.
Yes.
Is that the same for you?
Absolutely. My best friend and I were actually chatting on WhatsApp the other day, as we do, because we both have children and work with children. So, you know, your time is never your own. But we were saying the same thing. I said, you know, I think I'd be a shitty parent if I didn't smoke cannabis. Or something else that illegal drugs that people take, you know. And then she stopped for a second. She's like, you know what, you're right. Cannabis makes me a better mom, because exactly like you said, these kind of little movies, this puts you in a better mood. You have more patience. You take things to be more present with everything when it comes to a child. Number one easiest thing for a child to get up with is when you don't give them attention. You know, they're only mad when you're doing something else. And I'm guilty of that all the time. The cannabis always just brings me back to like, shut up, the 8-year-old wants to know if worms yawn.
And that's important stuff to be able to answer.
I've got to have the answers.
Yeah.
Or be able to make them up.
No, but I agree. I mean, I was a much better mom stoned. My son sits at the back of this room. I think he'd agree with me. You could tell the difference from like little when mom was stoned and when mom was not. Because when mom was stoned, she was happy to get on the floor and play with the Lego. When she was not, she was like, don't bug me now, I'm busy because I've got all the things to do.
Yeah, makes you... I get it. Also, my mom...
Because we always have a list of shit we have to do in our head.
Why did your mom smoke when you were...
Yeah, but that's an episode on its own. That's a whole series.
You see, I didn't. And listening to her now,
yeah.
I was thinking I should have, because so fucking anal and pedantic and how I am, and only finding out later how it chills me the fuck down to society's normal.
Yeah.
I think I would have been a lot more relaxed if I had when my kids were growing up.
I get it.
People used to say I was like a Nazi sergeant major. Eh?
Yeah, I can believe it.
I
think we can all agree.
Do you know the entire neighborhood knew that my kids had to be home by 7 for dinner? From the time they used to skateboard to bicycle to with their cars, I hear the doof, doof, doof. He's home, Penny, at 7.
Unless you were smoking the joint and then it was until 7:10.
No.
Zol Bobby, have you had any activist highlights in the last year or two? Moments that have really stood out for you?
Can you just repeat that for me? Sorry, when you guys speak at the same time, it's
Could you tell us a little bit about some of your activism highlights?
highlights of?
Activism.
I would say one of the coolest things we did was the Nicener protest. Because it was so spontaneous and it was really to me. I was on Facebook and I said, you guys, I'm going to go to Nicener. Protest because I said that I'm fucking broke. And within a few minutes, there were 2 or 3 really good people who came forward and said, cool, we want to sponsor you, but you have to take Jeremy Acton with you. And everyone knows Jeremy Acton is my man crush. I'm completely together alone in the car with me. And we went to Nicener for one night, drove there, picked up a Rasta into Northern made friends for life, and slept in the backpackers, which I've never done.
Nice.
And it was such a cool protest. I made life a backpack. It was one of the few events where I got to see the one love that people talk about in the Canada community.
Great. Zol Bobby, thank you very much for being on the show. We're hoping next time you're on it'll be a little bit smoother, a little bit more oil.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alessya.
Myrtle, I have such a girl crush on you.
Show her your shirt. She'll love your shirt.
Oh, I wanted to show you my shirt. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'm going to have to go up to the camera.
Show the camera your
So this is my shirt from...
Oh no!
Vancouver. Isn't it
What?
nice?
Snap!
It's
It's a full house.
Great. Thank you, Anthony, Vaporwise. And this is my pendant from, let me move around. This.
Thank you, Marsha. Another amazing
That's my modelling career over.
Oh, brilliant.
So now it's back to just
I
us.
sang goodbye.
Bye.
Back to us.
Cool. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us and the awkwardness there. And the weirdness. But no, thank you very much, guys. Please check out, we're going to put Zol Bobby's link in the Instagram in our feed. She's blank on Instagram. And it's not one of these situations where you see a chick shows a bit of skin and then they get 1,000 bazillion followers or 3 posts.
Yeah.
This chick's been feeding her Instagram. I respect this. And I
She
think,
works hard. Hey?
yeah, because it's not just like, it's so much in the culture, it's boobs and bars.
Can I tell you
You
something? This now changed my opinion of it.
But also, what?
Oh, yes,
You had an
because-
opinion.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have an opinion about everything.
Oh, God.
It's just, I'm wary as to voicing it because people get pissed off. But no, before when you asked about the sexism and that, wasn't she a ringside girl?
But isn't that fine?
But what
Well,
is
I
that?
don't know
hold
that.
on. Well then, now you digging a hole for yourself. I hope you're ready for this.
Here comes the
Um,
scum manifest.
No, what is the difference between walking a ringside at a fight or slithering around a pole in oil?
I object to neither.
So then what did you class as that
Pole dancing is far better
sexploitation in
exercise.
that? What did you
Pole
class?
dancing
Okay,
is
so-
Are
hard.
we looking
Yeah.
at with
Not
cannabis
easy.
or what?
Alright.
What do you mean by
even
this
I think
exploitation?
even porn movies with cannabis is okay.
But I'm asking you, don't backtrack or
I'm not
sidetrack.
backtracking.
Answer the question.
Okay, cool. So let me frame this question, and I'm going to put it to you. So I'm going to step back.
No,
and I'm
don't
gonna
put
get high as
that
fuck.
into it. You need to
Okay, cool.
answer.
So we know that the demographic, like I was saying earlier, is male, youngish. Now we know that there's issues, and I'm gonna eat this. Is that women traditionally, because of the patriarchy, aren't even able to own themselves. So I'm not saying when I say sexploitation that I'm objectifying women, but I believe that there are many men who still, because of that mindset, objectify women. And they objectify women in any context. And that includes a weed context. So what I'm saying is I'm completely cool. Saul Bobby owns her body like a motherfucker. That's
She
cool.
does, and
Oh,
she's
I
beautiful.
It's her body.
And
it's
I
she's
thought
using
you were
what
the
she's
one
got
doing
for
what
such
you
a
said.
good purpose.
But no, I didn't know she was a mom, and just when she spoke about the anxiety, because I can relate and how it helps.
Everybody's a human
So
being.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
I
what I'm
think-
just saying. This changed my entire opinion
But there
about
are
it.
people who take advantage of that in the
And-
weed
Yeah.
culture. Like
Yes.
if we open, I promise you open any magazine here, and within 20 pages you're going to see a nearly naked chick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's true.
I think that that's
Yeah.
absolutely fine if that woman is owning her body. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
just like Zol Barbie does, just like our amazing friend from Toronto, Jessica Violet. I mean, people know Jessica. She's a lovely, grounded human being and owns her stuff.
If you work
think that-
hard for your body,
Yeah.
like I mean, it doesn't. You work hard. You know.
yeah.
Yes, going to
I
gym and all of that. I mean,
She's
She's
There's
using
a lot
her
that comes with
God-given
it-
fucking
with
beauty
that.
to
Joanne.
promote an amazing cause.
And if
How can that
you
be
know
negative?
what you're doing when you're posting, you know that yes, you like you said, there are people out there that will maybe try to take advantage, and as long as you can have a good idea and stay with that idea of what you want and what you want from it, then yeah, it's a public platform.
Exactly.
And
Well,
she's
I
a
think
strong
it's
woman.
not
I mean,
Yeah.
she's not,
standard.
you know, so
It's
she
just
stands
not
up for
standard.
herself.
these
and
are
she's-
all-
False in
that's
this one.
even more beautiful.
these
This
are all
one's for
strong
me.
women, and yes, we're trying to learn how to not all talk one at the same
You
time.
guys put 5 of
I think the problem with men who objectify women is that to simplify it into like Freudian terms, they've got a problem with their mother. And all you boys out there who objectify women and it's all about the tits and ass and you don't actually respect that person who's owning her body, go and smoke a spliff with your mother. That's the best idea. Or make peace with your mother or something like that. Because a lot of these women are mothers and they've got talents. It's a talent to be able to be so confident. I would never be able to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't gym and all of that. I've never been fit in my life. But I've got incredible respect for people, women who can shake their booty like that. Own it, sister. It's brilliant.
But you know what
Absolutely.
the saddest
Yeah.
part is? It's
Because
women
it's
who normally
self-confidence.
judge other women because of that.
Yes.
And what I've said to women is, because they go, oh shame, look at them selling themselves. And I'm like, but you don't realise, because when you're on that stage, you hold all the power.
Yes.
Yeah,
They are nothing. You hold that power.
yes.
And that's what other women don't realise.
But Robin, I think Robin can give us unique insight into this a little bit. There are women who I'm seeing enter the game more and more. So like a long time ago, there was this concept with Myrtle, remember, of like ganja girls, and some chick came around in pink,
Yeah.
and there were photos, not like porno photos, but just with bud and a chick and a pretty girl and all that. And it sort of disappeared, but now we're seeing girls independently, like there's Hush.
Hash brand models, yeah, they're
Yeah.
really cool, lovely bunch of girls. I was actually following Keish Kush. She's a YouTuber, also a very young female South African, also pro cannabis.
Okay.
She runs a YouTube channel and runs events at Rumours and things like that, more in the metal music industry. But I followed her and she did some modelling with Hush, and then so Astasia is the owner of Hush, and they partner with the photographer Shine Photo, a bunch of different photographers. And their models, it's young girls, but it's alternative modelling, but still very classy. And there's this sort of underlying feeling of like girl power. I think that that makes it sound a bit cheesy, but it is moving away from this idea of models and that having to be thin, having to be this, having to be that, and it's very much more open and like being cannabis friendly as well. Lends itself to that as well.
And are you aware of any other brands doing this at the moment, or women? Not really. It's mostly Zorbarbie, Hush, and
There's another one, Kif Models. They are a
Models.
charity-based model agency, also alternative models, but yeah,
Okay,
charity-based,
nice,
which
nice.
is really cool, something different. I think the pool is quite small though. I think also the photographers and the models are all
But
also
it's gonna grow
collaborating.
so much.
yeah.
As in any small
still
little
young.
industry coming up, like the Looping as well. It's very small. We all collab with everyone else.
Yeah.
Although, like, I can envision it one day. hear me out. Like, you know, you get chicks in white t-shirts doing, again, is chicks, I said this before, if I were to say dudes, chicks, and things like that nowadays, is that still sexist?
I don't think so. Look, I call everybody dude anyway.
Okay.
Bro.
However you
Sister.
see yourself, I don't care.
I mean,
you're
you have to
dude
check with
me.
your kid if you can change
Bro.
his nappy. What fucking bullshit. They're so woke, their fucking brains fell out, I swear, this generation.
Did you just say woke?
Yeah.
Guys, woke.
Okay.
So,
I work with
I'm
woke people.
in the theme of Wonderful Woman of Weed, I am going to let Myrtle take the reins.
oh, okay.
And we must all shush.
Please.
I better stuff my face.
And you know what?
Smoke this joint.
Warren on the thread was saying, oh, the chick with the pink hair is quite stoned. And yes, I'm quite stoned, but I'm quite used to operating when I'm stoned.
Did somebody say that now?
These ladies were all talking about the wonderful woman of weed in the entertainment industry and in the social media industry, and looking beautiful and everything. But I'd like to also give a shout out to all of the women in the drug policy industry. It's not really industry. And, you know, over the last few years, we've been traveling around the world with our campaign, and we've been learning all about drug policy. And I've met some amazing women along the way who are doing research and who are campaigning for women who use drugs, for women in poverty-stricken areas in our world. And there's lots and lots of brave, strong women out there. And one of those particular women is Jodie Emery. Now, some of you might know Jodie and some of you might not. And this is our second surprise for the night. Jodie is on standby from Canada. Hi, Jodie.
Hi.
Hi.
Jodie, can you hear us?
I can, all the way from the other side of the planet.
Thank you, and welcome to the HotBox show, our special Woman of Mary Jane edition tonight. And Jodie, can you please just tell us where you are in Canada?
Right now, I'm sitting in Vancouver, British Columbia, the home of BC Bud, and I've been spending time in Toronto, Ontario. It's a 5-hour flight from here. That's where a lot of Canada's business and activism and media and politics takes place. And I've opened a new little hemp-themed coffee shop called Jodie's Joint, where I feature hemp wallpaper, hemp oil on the wood countertops, hemp fabric on the seats, hemp baked goods, and even hemp milk in the lattes. So,
Oh, we are so proud of you. Jodie's Joint has just opened, as Jodie was saying, has just opened up. And this was one of the main inspirations. I've been watching Jodie telling us about her new venture on Twitter. And this inspired us to try and get Jodie onto the show tonight. So Jodie, for those of us in South Africa who don't know you as well as we do, tell us, how did you become a cannabis activist?
in high school, I was against cannabis, against drugs, against alcohol. I loved police. I loved authority. It's a strange story, but then my best friends, who were very smart, were smoking cannabis. And I gave them a very hard time about it. But then I realized when 9/11 happened that my friends were very smart. They knew where Saudi Arabia was, Afghanistan, they knew about the military industrial complex, about a lot. And in fact, they were smarter than most of my classmates because they were stoners. So they introduced me to Cannabis Culture magazine and taught me. These are the creation of Mark Henry, and he started these activism media movements to inform people. So I began to question what I had been told about cannabis. And one night I tried beer, with shot glasses of beer was so gross. And sitting in a bathroom, Hawaiian HotBox style with the shower going, and we could bucket palm it with a hot bottle and a bucket of water. Not before there was paraphernalia and vapor additives. But I really enjoyed the cannabis, and I began to question everything I could say. And that led me down a path of questioning all authority. And I
believe what we've been told anymore. So we have to get rid of the reefer madness. I moved to Vancouver and I started hanging out with Mark Emery, and I was asked to run for the BC marijuana party, and we would run an election campaign. And then I was appointed as the assistant editor of Cannabis Culture magazine, and Mark and I did that for a number of years, the print edition that went all over the world. Although I have to say Australia and New Zealand, we would have problems there. They were really strict about letting any information of cannabis into the country. So Mark Emery, he always fought against censorship, so information and access to information was a big part of our activism. And the magazine is a wonderful thing. But in 2005, on July 29th, 2005, the U.S. government came into Canada and had Mark Emery arrested for selling marijuana all over the world, making millions of dollars and using that money to finance the global marijuana march everywhere, court cases, ballot initiatives, election campaigns. And the Drug Enforcement Administration and the U.S. government said, Mark Emery's seed business is financing legalization and we have to stop it. So they had him arrested in Canada, even though he never went to the U.S. And for years, we were fighting his extradition to the United States. He was facing life. So we made a plea deal. He accepted 5 years. He served 4.5 and got home to Canada in 2014. In that period, we never sold cannabis. We were always following the law as best as we could. We had our head shop for the pipes and the vaporizers and hemp clothes. So we had our lounge where people could come in with $5 and their own cannabis and use it in a safe space. And that's an important part of legalization activism, is that we have to be allowed to connect with our fellow cannabis enthusiasts in safe spaces publicly. So I did a lot of that. I ran for the BC Marijuana Party twice. I ran for the BC Green Party twice. And during the federal election in Canada last time around, I sought a Liberal nomination because the Liberal Party said they would legalize cannabis and end the criminal penalties and end the law enforcement spending. Well, like all politicians, they lied. But I promoted them. I ran for them. We spent a year plus doing activism. And Mark got out of prison in that time. So we briefly did a new venture of activism. Peaceful civil disobedience, breaking the law openly, is really key to how we change laws. So I started with Cannabis Culture a new model called adult use recreational store. Most dispensaries in Canada were medical because of court orders and defense that you can have for the medical side. But we said, well, legalization is coming for adults. And the government said they would license retail stores. Why don't we just open up and provide access and try and get legal? And for about 1 year, we spent that doing dispensaries across Canada, and it was very fast and very exciting, but very risky. And I got arrested last year with Mark, my husband, and we were facing life in prison in Canada for our franchise model of dispensaries. And the government had been following us, so they knew we didn't have a bunch of money stockpiled. For me, it was about the vision and the mission and what the stores represented. It represented what legalization should look like. But I accepted a plea deal. Instead of big prison time, I accepted a fine of $150,000, plus there's a victim surcharge fee of $45,000 or 30%. So I owe the government $200,000 to stay out of prison. So I'm trying to do that. But right now in Canada, as real grassroots activists know, and more people are noticing, in Canada, we're not getting legalization. It's what I call the great liberal legalization pot stock scam, because it's been nothing but stock market frenzy, enriching certain companies run by government friends and former cops and politicians. And there are many issues in Canada that I've been vocal about, but I get a lot of criticism for whining and complaining that it's not good enough. And I think, it's tough getting that ridicule and having government and gangs and the new pot industry all opposed to you. But I speak the truth because that's what this is about. It's about freeing the people, freeing the plant, and we're not getting that right now. We're just seeing the former prohibitionists moving into cannabis, continuing the law enforcement prohibition profiteering, but also trying to take over the cannabis industry for themselves. So we activists have a lot to do, and while it's great that the headline says cannabis is legal and that message goes around the world and other countries are changing their laws because of the headlines and the idea of legalization, we have to make sure that in the details, that's where the devil hides. So we have to make sure that the details of legalization are first and foremost about protecting the people, protecting the peaceful industry and the plant, and ending the massive law enforcement government oppression system that is built around cannabis prohibition. And you'll see on my Twitter at twitter.com/Jodie Emery, I just shared some more charts showing that in Canada, while the crime rate law enforcement is dropping, the drug rate is going up, and cannabis is the drug war. So we need to make sure we keep on this message of freedom to the people first and foremost.
Oh, Jodie, thank you so much. What an incredible story.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
it. I mean,
Big
can I
respect.
give her a standing ovation? Seriously.
High five. High five.
Wow. The Princess of Pot. What an honor.
Yeah.
Jodie, thank you very much. And just know that we've called our non-profit company here in South Africa Fields of Green for All. And all of us here in South Africa are completely behind you. I am studying every single bit of that Canadian legislation so that we can make sure that as civil society we stand up in South Africa and we do not end up with Prohibition 2.0 like you've got in Canada. We feel for you, we sad for you, but we're fighting with you. And hopefully South Africa can lead the way in real democratic legalization for all the people. And also cannabis amnesty. And I really look forward to having you back on the show. By then we might have enough money for some more sophisticated equipment that all of our sound and everything will be more smooth.
I'd love to share one more story that I mentioned a lot.
Go ahead.
Back when we did the magazine, one of the articles we did in print was out of South Africa, and it was by Andre Duplessis.
Yes.
And it was about hemp houses. And I talk about this article all the time because he wrote about how in the slums, when a gasoline lamp falls over and a fire happens, it's basically garbage going down to the flames and killing you. Wonderful hemp plant growing everywhere is being destroyed. You can use the hemp plant and water and lime, and that's all you need to build a fireproof, flood-proof, mold-proof house that absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, keeps you warm when it's cold outside, keeps you cool when it's hot outside. I mean, the idea that the government destroys a plant that can house people who are being murdered by poverty, like this, the hemp plant story and the hemp house story, I use it all the time. I've known about this for more than a decade, and I think back to it all the time, and I often cite South Africa, hemp houses, they were giving away at least information about that, but let's get into action on actually building it out, not just there, but everywhere. So that has a special place in my heart, and I hope I can visit soon. Mark,
Yes.
he's going to be visiting soon, so check out Mark on Facebook when he's going to be popping through.
Yes, I know. We first met Mark through writing to him in prison. We wrote actual letters and we sent photographs of our pets and our garden to cheer him up when he was in prison. And I know that you are also a cat person. My cat's called Handsome Harold, and I believe your cat is called Max. So we'd like to say hi to Max, give him a head scratch from us, and one day you can come this side and you can meet Harold. And that I think that all of this just shows that we are real human beings. I mean, here we are, 4 girls and a boy, getting stoned in our studio, talking to you in Canada, with our amazing technical team who've been fighting against the odds tonight. And we just feel like, oh, we love you so much. So thank you so much. And we really look forward to having you back on the show, probably in a more serious note, speaking about drug policy and speaking about your experiences in Canada in more detail when it comes, because as you said in the beginning, the devil is in the detail. So let's keep discussing the detail and let's keep inspiring each other. And love to everybody in Canada. that huge vast place. Bye. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That
was
was to talk to such a celebrity.
Did that just happen?
That was
wow.
so
I
nice.
think like right on cue, the dogs were trolling us.
Yeah.
And here comes
Here comes
Harold.
Handsome Harold.
I followed her from the time he was locked up on Twitter.
Aren't we
This
such
is
lucky
And that's when I
folks?
was like, what a woman, eh? She kept the flag flying while he was locked up.
I'm gonna
She
call.
deserves respect, eh?
No, what we're getting. I'm gonna call the timeout whistle. Yeah. Is everyone up for 15 minutes of overtime?
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, because we struggled
Enough
for a
for
little
15
bit before we
minutes
got
of
our group.
overtime. Yeah.
Okay,
That
cool.
was so
Merce,
awesome.
will you check
Yes.
everybody? Anyone to say hi to on the chat? We say hi to
Okay,
everyone
I'm gonna
and
check the
everything and
chat.
what questions and that. Technical crew, guys, that was
Thanks,
great.
technical
you.
crew. That was such an honor.
amazing.
Thank
Fucking
you.
thank you, yeah. Yeah. So, Oaks, are we comfortable? What do you just want to do? Should we do that YouTube video next? Can we do that YouTube trailer? Myrtle, you want to hit the comments? What's it looking like there?
Yes. So we have Anthony Colley from Vaporwise. You know him of the beautiful T-shirts and the Vaporize and everything. Saying thanks for the shout out, just in case any of you didn't get that. And then Alexander Dowding is coming to us all the way from England.
Alexander!
He says here, I just got home from work now, so we'll have to re-watch this from the beginning.
Yes.
But I have to cook my dinner first. Oh, Alex, you're such an old woman. Cook my dinner first. Our folks looking good.
Oh, can I say something to Alex?
Yes, please say something.
Alexander, I didn't want you to comment, but please
I'll wait.
don't waste your time with barmaids. They're only there to keep you there to spend money, okay?
I suppose you put it
My
on.
ex-husband married one. Fucking stay away.
Alex, we miss you, my boy.
With love.
Oh, Amy's there. Amy, our darling neighbour. The second half of Two Girls and a Bong. She's saying,
Two
how's
girls,
it?
one bowl.
Two girls, one bowl, not a bong.
Well, there is a bong involved too.
And Aidan again, he's saying that that he didn't hear what Jodie was saying. So we'll see if we can tweak the audio a little bit for when we put up the final video at the end of it. So that's it for the comments for now.
Wow.
Okay.
So what we're going to check out now is, this isn't so new. It was like pretty 2017-ish, but it was a documentary. But the trailer was the hit. The trailer pretty much gives it all. I think it was called Woman of Weed. Technical, up for it. Press play. Let's see if we can watch this.
What a movie.
It's a documentary about Woman of
Just a
Weed. but
trailer
we're gonna watch
about a
the trailer
documentary.
Oh,
quick.
wow.
And then we're going to say what we think about the trailer. We'll give it a review.
Oh,
out of
wow.
5 leaves or some shit.
I never watched it. Joe was watching earlier. Oh my God, how am I supposed to see that?
Through the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm being crying emotional from watching Jodie or just all the
Audio.
smoke. It's Women's Day and they couldn't make the screensaver of a nice hunk with a joint. I mean, seriously, we have to look at sand dunes.
Can we do like a calendar or something
Dads
of
on
men
one.
with
Okay, I'm not being one.
Men
No,
on
I
dad.
want to do one with women. I've always wanted to.
We
Remember
can't
that?
hear I think that the point that they were making about working together, there's a sort of intrinsic thing with us chicks, is that particularly when times are tough, we huddle together.
Yes.
You know, where you want to find your best friend, you want to go and spend the whole day sitting in your pajamas, smoking weed and eating chips and drinking too much coffee.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'm not a big one for women's groups and all of that. A very wise person once told me that the time of separation is over, to separating men from women. It's not about that. It's not about the women having their own little exclusive club, because that's sometimes a bit boring and a bit sort of bitchy. But it's just in us to stick together. You know, I think if you think of all of the single moms out there, they lean on each other for support, and it's not been easy fighting for this plant. It really has not been easy. A lot of women have had to raise their kids on their own and everything because their husbands are in jail. Just like Jodie had 5 years without Mark while he was in the American jail. And there's lots of mothers and wives and girlfriends like that around South Africa. So sticking together is very important. But it's not the be-all and end-all. It's the girl power that's the be-all and end-all. Because we're coming out from the underground. In the beginning of the show, we said that where are the women? They're definitely out there, and we are really, really looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah. They're out there. They're just really, really busy making sure that the world doesn't fall apart first.
But do you
They're
think
really, really busy.
we see the woman in the sexy context now. Do you think there's like the businesswoman of weed really emerging yet in SA? Do you think it's still going to be a thing?
I think that they're still a bit underground, but I think that there is a bit of a network starting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. There's a few interesting social media groups out there, and maybe just because we don't know it. Maybe as things become freer and freer, we'll learn about all of these groups will come out of the woodwork. Wouldn't that be very cool?
Another woman of weed. So my next topic for the night was I don't want to I'm not that guy who defines women by the fact that they can make babies. It's just by the by and by. I don't think it should define anyone. But there was a good article that came out, and it was in Leafly. It's not such a new article, but what it really goes on about is pregnant, in, out. Let's not give it all a moment. Sorry guys, Daisy's a bong killer. So she should actually be like confined to doggy Auschwitz right now because something got buried today.
Oh dear.
Something here.
Oh dear.
Something glassy.
Oh dear.
Cool, so the article is titled Consuming Cannabis During Pregnancy. Here's what the science says. In December 2017, a research letter published in JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, reported that marijuana use among pregnant women had increased by several percent between 2009 and 2016. And it goes on to speak about the story, and what it says is they don't really know how good or bad it is to use cannabis when you're pregnant.
Well,
but I thought it was good.
Is it good? Is it bad?
Because they said that it's in the breast milk anyway, and that's what calms the baby.
But that's
in the cannabinoids. But I don't know. Okay, I haven't been pregnant, so but I can't imagine going 9 months without having something to just help me sleep, because already with hormonal issues and imbalance, especially those cookies that Amy and I made, I actually got into the habit of having one before I went to bed at night, and I woke up and I really did feel like it maybe helped to balance those huge fluctuations and a lot of the symptoms.
Well, they always say more studies have to be done, and what does the science say? Well, one of the very first major studies that we learnt about was done by Dr. Melanie Dreyer in Jamaica, and I think that study was done in the 90s, but it was of about 2,000 Jamaican woman, and she had her control group, the woman who didn't use ganja, as it's called in Jamaica, and those that did. And then they followed the children of these women for 6 years. And so they went through all the early childhood development stages, and they found that the children of the women who smoked ganja while they were pregnant were actually at a slight cognitive advantage. Okay. And this is a landmark study that's still being quoted by the scientists today because it wasn't a small group. And I think that we have our very own homegrown study of women who smoke when they're pregnant. I'm not saying that all Rastafari women do, but a lot of Rastafari women do because it is their sacrament and it is part of their life and of their religion. So, and if you go to a Rastafari community, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the kids. And there's also no lack of children within Rastafari communities. So as far as men's reproductive health is concerned, you just have to go to Judah Square in Knysna and look at all of those beautiful children, and you'll realize that there's nothing wrong with either the woman or the men's consumption of cannabis and their reproductive health. So that's my very firm opinion on the matter.
I've had 3 babies. No, me too. I've had 3 babies.
Where's the conch? Like Lord of the Flies. Whoever's got the conch can speak. Fuck, I went to hold my breath.
Let's say Penny get it out of her system.
I'm fucking squirming, eh?
I promise. Go for it, Penny. Go. I'm going to rather join you.
Okay. Age before beauty, my darling. Okay. Now, I just wanted to say, because I know a lot of people get very self-righteous, and I always found, she's laughing.
I'm laughing because I can.
So, stuff the ball. I was stuffing the ball. Okay, sorry, because we got to hurry. Shoot, don't make me lose my train of thought. I'm stoned.
Well, this
fuck, man. Okay, people are very judgmental, and I found, because I didn't smoke weed when I was pregnant, but I smoked cigarettes, and people were very judgmental. You know, this was the 80s.
Yeah, I'm still.
You know, I used to breastfeed the firstborn and smoke. Yeah, at the same time. But anyway.
Man, it's the ashtray on his head while he's on the nut.
No, that was while I was pregnant. It was the perfect ashtray. But anyway, people are always like, oh, I stopped smoking the minute I found out I was pregnant. But I don't know if it's changed, but they used to say it makes no good for all those self-righteous people. Apparently, you have to stop 6 months before you even start trying. So that's just to the judgmental people.
Well, this somebody here says my lady smoked throughout her pregnancy, and the baby is a happy, healthy angel.
I can believe it. I can totally believe it.
I think that it's a
Joe. Your turn.
Somebody just confirmed it. Oh, Joe.
So, I've had 3 kids. I did not smoke weed through the first 2 pregnancies, okay, and my body is allergic to being pregnant. I just throw up the whole time. It's not pretty at all. With the 3rd one, I did decide to smoke, and it was so much better, and he's turned out like really healthy and really intelligent, and I'm quite cute, actually. So that's what I wanted to say.
Well, you know,
as the pregnancy went a whole lot smoother for me, and I mean, yeah.
Well, my grandmother always used to say, every crow thinks her chick's the blackest. But she has got beautiful kids.
No, I'm not one of those ones.
That one's got that
that's a good comparison. Because you've had it both ways.
Because I've been through both ways.
Very good.
And the second time, the last one, I still had the fibro.
But I think, like Robert, you were saying, you think it would be a good thing because of, sleeping lacquer and that. But maybe there is a limitation.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're not gonna. I don't know if I would smoke. I would probably bake it. Yeah, no, probably I would dab, or I would take capsules,
cookies,
or cookies, because I would make it into.
Just for the record, he was born on.
But I don't think I would smoke it. I think I would stop smoking it for that time, definitely. But consuming it, on a dab, or some nice pancakes in the morning.
Whatever you consume, baby, consume. It doesn't matter though. Once again.
Yeah, but smoking it versus obviously igniting it, you're getting a bit of
He's 14 now. I didn't know about Dab's 14
I
years
d-
ago.
yeah, no, I'm sure
I would've
Dad,
chosen that
what
much-
of those,
much
14 years
better,
ago.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think to wrap up the topic, let's try and put it to like a sort of votey thing. Like if they will ask you to rate my service at the end of this call, would you say smoking weed during pregnancy?
Are we saying
Yes.
smoking or consuming?
Well, consuming.
Consuming.
Oh, smoking.
Consuming, yeah.
Yeah, but now you're being judgmental because I've just said whatever you
Smoking
consume,
is a
baby,
method of
consume.
consumption.
So it doesn't matter
but
if
there
you
are
dab,
healthier
shove it up your
ways.
ass or whatever.
I'm not. It's not contesting the cannabis
It's
that the
just
baby
a
would
fucking
consume,
word.
but it's the chemicals and
The Riz. The Riz, the baby.
The Riz, like,
okay.
Baby comes out not
No,
with fetal alcohol
when it's
syndrome, with fetal red Riz
combustion.
syndrome.
I cannot find my words right now, but when it combusts, there are different. That's why
I'm
dabbing is
gonna start
healthier.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and let's say smoking's on the table because that is the most consumption.
Okay.
So we
It's
accept
probably
it
the
is
most-
I
what it is.
forgot
Yeah.
what the one option was.
No,
Okay,
we
so-
didn't even get that far.
Okay.
So the options are, the question is, smoking, consuming weed
Smoke,
during
yeah.
pregnancy,
Consuming it during
yes,
Yeah.
not sure,
Mm.
no.
Yes.
So
Yes.
A, B or C? A is yes.
Yay, maybe, nay.
Yes, no,
Yay.
maybe.
I would have to.
Holy
I would have to
fuck.
vote as a complete outsider because I don't have kids and I'm too old to have kids now. So, but I would say yes from all of the women that I've met with kids and amazing kids and whatever. I would say yes, but I don't have an informed opinion.
I'd say no.
Disclaimer.
No.
So no.
Big
Yeah.
disclaimer.
What did you
Yes.
say,
Joe,
Joe?
you say?
I'm a yes. I've tried it. I've tried it myself. Damn right. Yes. Double
Yes.
times
Robin?
yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Penny?
Yes.
No.
You look at a woman who never took drugs, did yoga the night before she gave birth. No.
Yeah, she'd smoke.
Oh, now
she'd
who's
smoke
being
the
self-righteous?
Texan in the wifey's face. But that...
No, well, that was different. They were
that was
cigarettes.
different.
Yeah.
The good
Yeah,
old
but
days.
that's
It was allowed.
They gave it to you
Yeah.
at the clinic with the napkins, the
socially
Texan plate.
It's like a
acceptable.
really.
Okay. Guys, I think we're going to skip the one and move right there to our last
No.
exit topic.
So what's
Yep.
the count?
Fuck it.
Most of us
Don't
said
make
yes.
up your own
So
mind. I'm not
it
judging
was
you.
3-1.
3, 2, 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And no no's
No,
or maybes?
No maybes. I
Oh,
went
not
hell's
sure.
yes. I went
Okay.
Exit
yes times
topic.
Exit topic, yeah. 3 out of 4 babies prefer dabs. So we're going to skip the Argentina thing. Okay, let's move on to the last thing. I think this is a loaded question, or a loaded meme. This is a meme, I'll show you, see if you can't see it there. It's which strain would you smoke? And strain 1 is the ability to fly when you smoke it. Strain 2, 30% more brain power.
Oh, no.
Strain 3, X-ray vision. Strain 4, erase a memory.
Erase what
A
memory?
memory.
Oh, anyone's
So forget
memory.
something.
Completely.
Something really shit, just forget it.
Wait, let me bring
5.
this up.
Read minds.
Oh, no.
6.
Fuck.
But I say, since this is such a loaded question, we should say, fuck the 6, forget the 6. If you could smoke weed and it gave you basically what is one superpower for that 2 hours,
Yeah.
what superpower would you like to have
I
while
got
you
2
are
options.
buzzed?
What?
I
Sorry.
got 2
I'm
options.
just sorry.
Hang on.
Sorry. After
First
that
option-
erase
Whoa.
after the read minds, I've been here because I had all these pictures going through
Okay.
my head.
Let's-
Fuck
Yeah. I'm bringing it up on my phone.
What is it?
So you
No,
After-
let me reframe the
Yeah.
question. If you could smoke weed and it gave you a superpower,
Yeah.
any power for that 2 hours that you were high, what superpower would you want that to be?
I want to be like that chick who turned blue in X-Men. What was she?
Shapeshifter.
Yeah. It started with Rebecca Ranjan Stamos. Yeah.
So here
I
it
want
gives
to be
you.
that. A shapeshifter. Yeah.
I reckon I'd go for 30% more brain power.
Yes,
eh?
Myrtle, high
I
five.
think I could do it.
Sisters!
My brain is just not big
I
enough
was going to
sometimes.
say,
So,
Yeah,
my
no,
first
definitely.
option is 30% more brain
But
power,
then I
and my
see
second
it.
option would be ability to fly, because that must be fucking awesome.
Erase a memory.
Invisibility
Yeah.
could also
Fun.
be kind of cool, but I mean,
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, but
actually,
It's a pity
Flying
they
is
don't
cool,
have
at least.
Sometimes you
Hailey
can
from
just be
X-Men.
invisible. Have you
The
ever had one of those
Stormmaker.
invisible days
Fuck,
where people
that
just
was
don't see
awesome.
you and
Just
they
don't
walk
acknowledge
into
you.
so what's your choice?
Yeah.
Okay, well
so-
let's again we started clucking like hens. Let's put it. Let's
My,
put it. Let's
my choice is
We also all had coffee before
no,
this
this is what it
episode.
is.
You don't have to.
No.
We
They
literally
don't
all
want to
did.
read minds because I caught so much shit anyway.
Yeah,
It'll be
read minds.
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, read minds.
Robin, I
Read
feel like you should be able
minds.
to pick anything
Yeah.
though, because. But what would you choose to be while you're high? You say 30% more brain power.
Yeah, or like I've actually thought about this. I have an answer if someone ever asked me what would my superpower be. So it would be like learning, just to be able to learn quicker or learn
Yeah.
just
To use that time to be
that
super
is the best
productive.
ability to have,
Yeah.
because if you
Yeah.
can just learn anything you wanted to almost instantaneously, you could do anything.
You'd be mega mind.
That's it. You just
I'd
spend
quite
2
like
hours
it if
getting
you
shit
could smoke
done.
it, it'd make you thin. That would be nice.
It doesn't make you thin. It doesn't make me thin. But people sometimes.
No,
are
it doesn't make me
suppressive.
thin. No. Anyway, just on a note, I'm always saying, where are the nubile young men? Because when you have all of these cannabis chicks all over the place, tits and ass and everything like that, I also want to see some nubile young men. So now we've just nominated a Warren to come on the HotBox show as our topless hot man. Okay. We'll see in the HotBox.
Where?
soon.
Yes.
Oh, where?
I don't know when. I can envision it. How we're gonna.
No, sorry.
gonna
I
have
just
to be
didn't
by the
ask
spring
when.
party.
He's
Yeah.
gonna win. I don't know when.
When?
It'll be
I will,
later
we'll
in the
arrange a
year
date.
when it's
Later in the
warmer
year.
weather.
Yeah. So,
It'll happen. Eh? I'm not gonna do it, but he's gonna come lay out here on his back, washboard edge,
And then you'll be rolling. Are we gonna
Yeah.
like
Gonna
roll
roll
on
it
his
in the
stomach?
How old is this
Body
guy?
dabs.
old enough, and you're gonna put the
Old
dab in his
enough
belly
for what?
button
Old enough to what?
to lay for your dad, Penny.
okay. Whoa.
Okay.
But he is married, so with respect.
Okay.
Well, on that note,
On that note,
Yeah.
guys, thank you for tuning in. Please check out Zorbaby on Instagram.
Yes.
What's it? Cannabis Review ZA. Hey Dan. Also check out Vaporwise. Much love from the Oaks.
Yes.
Who were those Oaks with the cream Myrtle? What was their? Where
okay,
did we
so
find
there,
them?
I only see an email address here, but once I get them, I'll post on the Fields of Green Facebook page. So the email address is amadarlingmed, okay, amadarlingmed@gmail.com. If you'd like to order some of this cream, it looks really delicious.
And please check out Jodie Emery on Instagram. We're